Hello, everyone. Where today we're going to be talking about past tense verbs, regular and irregular, and we're going to focus on learning past tense verbs. I'm going to model that for you, and then I will guide you through working with past tense verbs, whether they are regular or irregular verbs. So let's start with a quick question. What did you do yesterday? Okay. All right. Great. Let's hear a few more examples. All right. You watched TV. All right. He played soccer. Good. Nice. So you're already using past tense verbs, right? So today you're going to learn how to use past tense verbs correctly, understand the difference between regular and irregular verbs, and we're going to fix some common mistakes that people make when they are learning how to use past tense verbs. So by the end, you'll be able to talk about the past clearly and correctly, and of course, confidently. Okay, so let's look at two types of verbs. I'm going to write it on the board. We have regular verbs and we have irregular verbs. So verbs that are not regular. So regular verbs, those verbs add ed to the end of the word to show past tense. So a word like walk becomes walked. A word like watch becomes watched. All right? So then in irregular verbs, these verbs change form altogether. So they either become a new word or letters are changed and not necessarily adding ed. So a word like go, I go to the store. If I went yesterday, it's went. I went to the store. Or a word like to see. I see you in the classroom, but yesterday I saw you in the classroom. So with these irregular verbs, it's no real rule to follow. Like with regular verbs, you add ed. But with irregular verbs, there's really no rule to follow to make sure that you say it correctly. You have to memorize them. So when you come across irregular verbs, you need to memorize them because they don't follow any rules. All right? Or there's no rule that I can give you to teach you how to change the form of those words to make it past tense. So let's look at this. Let's look at a sentence. Yesterday, I go to the store. Does that sound correct? No, that's present tense. So I change it to past tense. Yesterday, I went to the store. Now, is it correct? Yes, went is the past tense. It's an irregular verb of the verb go. All right, so now let's practice together. So I wrote two sentences on the board. She watched TV yesterday. And the second one, they go to school last week. So I'm going to give you a minute or so, and I want you to work with a partner to fix those sentences. I'll walk around while you're working on that. Okay? What is the correct verb? All right, good. Yes. All right, I like this. Is this regular or irregular? Right, it is irregular because you're changing the form of the word. Good job. All right, so let's check it together. Let's come back together and we'll check it together. All right. So she watched TV yesterday. Who thinks they know what it should say? All right, yes. She watched TV yesterday. You added the ed because it is a regular verb and the rule is to add ed. They go to school last week. Who wants to try that one? Oh, it's easy now, right? Right, correct. They went to school last week. So that is an irregular verb, so it changes the word form altogether. So notice that change in verb form because you'll have to memorize it with irregular verbs. With regular verbs, it's easy to figure that out because the rule is add ed. So excellent. So notice how you change the verb form. All right, so now it's your turn. I want you to tell your partner one sentence about yesterday. All right, make sure you use past tense. Okay, the other partners. All right, so what I want you to do, I want everyone to try one irregular verb. I have a list of irregular verbs that you can try. All right. So let's go with John. John, what is yours? All right, perfect. I ate dinner. Now that's a funny one because, of course, it's not a regular verb, but it uses the same letters as the present tense verb eat. So I eat spaghetti on Tuesday, right? Or I ate spaghetti yesterday, right? So great, that's correct past tense. So today we learned regular verbs that end in ed when we change them to past tense, irregular verbs that change form altogether, and also how to fix mistakes. So when we are reading or writing a sentence and the verb tense is incorrect, now we know how to fix that. And most importantly, you practice using past tense in real sentences. So great job, everybody. We will review this tomorrow with a short quiz.